It's my body, my choice.
Nehemiah chapter 4.
It's my body, my
Nehemiah
choice.
chapter 4. Wait just
Overturn Roe. Hell
God is
no.
good.
My body, my choice. I am who I say I am. I do what I say I can do because I have a choice. I have a choice. I have a choice. I have a choice.
I know this. I'm glad to be in the house of the Lord.
So those were protesters protesting about the impending destruction of Roe v. Wade. They chose to do it at Joel Osteen's church with what looked like at least hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people there in attendance. And they didn't go fully topless as they have in some other protests. There, they were just in underwear. And you could hear a little bit of what sounded like kind of condescending comments from Joel Osteen about them being excited to be in the house of the Lord or something like that. But they're taking this seriously, even if he will not. A lot of people have a significant number of their rights apparently on the chopping block before the SCOTUS over the next few months. And I love that they're going to high profile places to do this. We might get to some of the other video, but Joel Osteen's super high profile in religious circles. So I love that they were willing to do that. But Jordan, what do you make of this protest?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm encouraged by these types of protests and also the wave of climate change protesters who have been interrupting, sporting events or super gluing themselves to different things like, the court, an NBA court. Mm-hmm. And for all of these issues, right? There's this powerlessness that people are just, overwhelmed by. Because the Democratic Party isn't doing enough. In many ways, they can't do enough or they don't want to. And then the Supreme Court is just going to keep giving these wins to the right, in part because of a decades-long game by the right and focus by the right to pack the Supreme Court with conservative justices. And they're getting their way. They're at a point where they can do whatever they want. And this is, I think, tame to what people will start to resort to if things continue to get worse and worse, and you continue to deprive people of their rights or strip their rights. If you continue to let existential crises fester and get worse, they should be thankful that there is a non-violent civil disobedience in a church or at an NBA game.
Exactly, which is what I advocate for. That's what I want. That's what I want politics to be. The other side, of course, they want to normalize far more violent responses, and seem to be gleefully taking us down that path. In any event, I want to credit. I believe it's one of the videos from one of the women from that video said, "I know it seems really outrageous to do it in a church, in a private space. However, the people who are enforcing these laws have no qualms coming up to women in private spaces, such as doctors' offices and medical clinics, to harass them and call them murderers." I totally agree. And these protests have been going on in other places as well, at sporting events and everything. Like, again, they're gonna get criticized, and I'm sure, I'm trying to blanking on his name. Steven Crowder is probably gonna have a delight in discussing these things because he doesn't care about politics or the stakes or anything like that. But these women do. These are the sort of people who are seemingly our only defense in these areas. The Democrats have largely checked out on a lot of these issues. The assaults against reproductive rights, the assaults against the LGBTQ plus community. Maybe we get an Instagram post from our elected leaders, and that's pretty much it. Certainly no legislation, no executive orders. And so we need to be doing everything we can non-violently to protect these rights. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.